Hello gang, Merlin Don on the mic, bringing you the part 5 of Blackbeard Theorycrafting. You asked for it, I deliver. So in the previous theory crafting videos we have talked about this list, how we keep crafting, let's say, this list, or manipulating this list until the first offline regionals, where we will have the final list. And we go and talk in depth about the matchups that the Blackbeard has in this meta. So we talk about how every leader plays, how they play against you, how they play against other leaders, and what are the techs you can use against the meta, right? So this is a guide to learn to play your leader. Even if you play another leader, it will give you, let's say, some guidance. How do you process the battles, right? Or the mindset that you should have when you're playing competitive in this trading card game. So we talked about in the first video about Sunks, in the second video about Red Green Smoker, in the third video about Zoro, in the fourth video about Lim, and today we will talk about Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy, if you want, is one of the hardest matchups for Blackbeard. It's like it's not even like a 50-50. And let's see the meta reports. Oh, by the way, of course, we will like every time we will go and search after the theory crafting and the guide. We will go in the simulator and try to find the Purple Luffy to play a match, right? A live match. So back to the guide. If we see the meta reports, so these are the current meta reports, we can see that Purple Luffy has a 52 win rate percent, right? Whereas Blackbeard has only 49, almost 50. And he's like currently ranked 3, so he's above Blackbeard in the ranking simulator, at least, and it's a hard matchup. So you can see here the Blackbeard, and we have only 42% win rate. So it's like 6 from 10 times you will lose to this deck, or this is just statistics, right? And if we go in the more in-depth analysis here, you will see that if you go first in this matchup, you have a 55% win to win, right? So chance to win. Whereas if you go second, it's almost an instant lose, right? So the dice really does matter in this game, in this matchup, right? So keep that in mind. We can also see here the current deck list that they play. Most of the higher ranked people play in this meta for the Purple Luffy. And let's go back, and this is the current list, right? So they play mostly they play these Bone Clays, the Kid, 2Ks. They have the Gam Giant, the most broken card in this meta. They started to play Trafalgar Law, so you will also have to keep that in mind. But in this matchup, so against us, it's not a really issue, because we are always low on cards most of the time. And they have these crazy on-play combos, so Luffy Taro into Sang Goro, or into Zoro, or the Sanji that can rest the opponent's character, or Lin they give it gives them life, or Monkey D. Luffy, Ras, draw a card. So some crazy shit. They have some crazy shit here. And this is the reason why when you know that on the next turn your opponent will reach the 7th turn, you will have to always deny them the on-play abilities. So you will have to trust a card in every turn, right? So let's see what they play. They play so the small price is low. If you can afford to lose the dog queue, just KO it with the dog queue. If you can't afford to lose the dog queue, so if you have only one in your hand, I would keep him to KO something else. Because when they play a 4 cost, if you're at 5 don, you can use a Van Ager. If you are at 4 don and you have a Laboon, you can use a Laboon and combine it with the dog queue. Or also a Black Hole. I wouldn't recommend the Black Hole because you will lose tempo in order to do that, but if you don't have anything else to do, just go for it, right? Do we have answers for the 5 costs? Yes, we do. We have the Laboon and Doku. Unfortunately, Van Ager is not enough. So Laboon and Doku or Sigan, right? For the 7 costs that they play, we can address them with Stronger and Sigan. So Stronger -2, Sigan 5 cost KO. But when they play the 9 cost, here is where we struggle. We struggle with 9 cost. Yes, of course, you can use a lot of resources to try and KO these things, but you don't have the resources in this matchup. Because Purple Luffy is way too fast and has way too many counters in his hand. So it's a really hard matchup, right? So here you will have to rely on your teats to stun lock them and just go for game. Some of the times, if they don't have any other solution, they do play this 2k Sanji, which is also blocker. You can address it if you want with your Stronger and Sigan, or just KO it, go for game and KO it, right? The tech cards that they use, they had this, like I said, one of the most broken cards, Cam freaking Giant. For 1 don, plus 4k, -2 don, they trust 1 brick and they trust 2 cards, which is insane. It's insane, guys, the value that this card produces. Some of them, they play the God Thread. It's like the KO, instant KO, 5 costs or below, so they can KO your Laboon, your Van Ager and so on. Yeah, it's not that much, but this is the most important, one of the most important cards that you should just keep in mind that they might have this, right? Because that's a counter, they get 2k plus 2k, and they can arrest one of your characters. So they could easily arrest your 10 cost hits, and then they will go for game on the next turn. So keep this card, guys, in mind. If they have 2 dons open, you might need to consider play around this card. Today we had a tournament and my opponent had this Nor Beam. I won the matchup, but I was sweating like a lot. And he did play this card in the end, but I did play around it because I first attacked with my teats. Then he used this card and he rested another character of mine, and then I played my my next teats, right? To stun lock his character and so on. So don't forget about this card, guys. Some tips about this game. Mulligan for Sigan. I know it's great if you trigger this card. It's great. And in this matchup, also the 5 bill or mill, how is this trigger card called? It's insane if you trigger this card, but it's casino. This casino, and I don't like casino, right? But we do have Sigan. We might don't have the beat in our build, but we do have Sigan, right? So in my opinion, you should mulligan for this card. And maybe also for, I don't know if we can also afford to mulligan for our states, but I would say that our prio is the Sigan, mostly because of these 2 cards. So Kid and Sangoro, you don't want to have either of these cards on play, right? If you win the dice, do me the favor and go first. I know that we have that we love this odd curve, right? Excuse me, going second, so the even curve. But as you can see here, if you go second, you will probably lose, right? This is the statistics, guys. But if you go first, this is favored. This is favored because you disrupt their turn, right? Another tip: play around Norbim. We talked about this card here. Play around it if you can. If you see that they have 2 dons open, keep that in mind. Also, don't forget that Purple Luffy takes his own life aggressively. So you should also push aggressively for game. Because if you push for game and they're like at 1 or 0 life, they will think twice to play big character. Because they will not be able to defend their life, right? So they will have to play defensively and put some blockers instead. Yeah, so play aggressively in this matchup. Leader's ability from 7 dawn non-stop. Purple Luffy is one of the decks that has so many extremely good on play effects in their cards, so you don't want any of these cards to do any damage to you, right? So this is another thing. And let's say the gameplay. Let's see the gameplay. So their curve, if they go first, how do they play? I've also myself played a lot of Purple Luffy. I really like this deck, and I was also considering going in London with this deck instead of Blackbeard. I'm still considering it, but I think that I will go with Blackbeard in London. I will go for Blackbeard because what the hell, even if Purple Luffy is at the moment ranked higher than Blackbeard, I think that I have put way too much time and effort in Blackbeard, so I will stick with PB. Okay, so back to the curve. How do they play? If they have the law, they will search with 1 dawn, then so that's if they go first, right? So, and if they go first, you will probably lose, because then they will play the Zoro, then they will play the Luffy Taro or the Sanji, and then they are ready to play a big character or 2 small ones, and from this point on, they will start spamming their characters. And when they are at this point, you are not at your 10 dawn turn, right? Because you are 2, 4, 6, 8. So you're at 8 dawn when they do that, and then you will go to the 10 dawn. So how do we play in such a game? Docu at 2. Then we pray for Laboon. If we get a Laboon, it's okay. If we don't, we either go for life aggressively or play Black Hole. Then at 7 dawn, or of course you can also at 4. Let's put that also here. You can also play your Jesus, right? Because you will establish a party, and on our next turn. So if you have Laboon, play Laboon. If you don't, you either go aggressively to life. If you have a Jesus, you can play your Jesus, because then we can also attack with our Jesus, right? And then here, this might also be a Kuzan and so on if you lose your birds. Or the 7 cost, you can also use a combination of Stronger and Sigan to KO it. Or if you see here a Sangor instead of these 2, and you have a Sigan it. For the 9 cost, we don't have an answer. So if they play that, you will just take the hits and pray to have the blockers and so on, and you will have to push aggressively for life until you have the teaches. When you have the teaches, at least you have something to defend, right? But when you don't, if you don't have the teaches, yeah, that's hard. So here you go for Sigan to clear some board. You play your blockers. You keep playing your Jesuses. You keep praying for these triggers and so on, and then you need to have also your teaches to start chaining teaches and go for game. if you go second, so that if you go second, if you go first, you disrupt the turn, because here what they do is at the second turn they will use their leader's ability, and they are at 4 life but 4 dawn. On their third turn they will use their leader's ability, they will go at 7 dawn. You're still at 6, right? But they are down to 3 life, and this is where you need to push, right? Okay. So if they go first, they will play their Searcher, then they will play a 5 cost, then they will most likely play a Luffy Taro here or another 5 cost, and then they will play their 9 cost or 2 characters, right? So here you have more time to establish your characters and play both. So here we can also play, for example, a Searcher or a stage. Then we can clear this 5 cost, so we are okay here. We can also clear this with stronger Sigan, or we can start establishing some board. And this here, what you can see is if I have in my hand Laboon and Tokyo, then I can play here my Vanagure or with other. So if I have I can also play Laboon and then a Vanagure and Dog. You know, because here with this combination you can KO this, and you will have 3 characters on board, and these 3 characters, they are also targets for your enemy, right? If I don't have this combination, yeah, then I will just go for Pegasus here, or Kuzans that they will bring me Jesuses. For the 9 dawn turn, when they play here the big characters, we can't do much here, but what we can do is we can go for their life. Why? Because they will use all their 9 dawns to do that, so they don't have any dawns to spare for the Gam Giants. So you either take a lot of cards from their hand, or you just take their life, and then it's like better for you. Because they are on the danger zone, and if you start spamming your TCs, then it's a little bit easier. And if they go second, there is also this death turn. What they can also do is like they can also play the low, then they can play this Mr. 2, and they will ramp 2 dawns, guys. So in the third turn, they can use their leader's ability and play 9 cost or a 5 cost and 4 cost. If they do that, yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to come back from that. Yeah, they have to see everything, of course, but yeah, and there are some arguments here to also use your leader's ability also here, because even if they don't use the Bone Clay, they could use Zord Zero, and Zord Zero gives always value if played, right? But of course, it's also a matchup where you're always low on cards, so I don't know if you can do that. So sometimes it's also a little bit of gambling, because if they do that here, yeah, you need to KO this, at least to KO this Bone Clay somehow. Then they will have a 9 cost or 2 bodies, and then from that point and on, you can just play your game and pray that you will live until you can play your teachers. Okay, guys, so this was a guide. So this was a guide that I prepared for you. I hope that I covered all the themas about this leader. This is the list that I'm currently playing. So I have changed some things in the list. So I still have a Laboon in the list. I have 3 Vanagure. Yeah, 1 Laboon instead of 4 Vanagure. 1 Laboon is like that gives the deck more consistency. Let's say more consistency, right? So because sometimes it feels really good if you already have like a reducer on the field, and you play the Yakuza and you bring another Vanagure, and you have Doku, and it's the combination is like crazy. Or you might have like a Black Hole or a Sea Gun in your hand, and you want to play you want to bring with your Kuzan like Vanager from the graveyard to do a -3 to something and then KO it with event card. So that's why I'm trying things here. Yeah, it feels okay at the moment. So this list feels okay. So let's try and find the Luffy. Let's see if we can find the Luffy. So it's like sometimes it's hard to find something on demand, you know. Until now, in our previous videos, we were lucky. We were lucky enough. Okay, okay, here's Luffy. And here's Luffy. So we won the dice. We will go first here. And we will keep this hand. I like this hand. I really like this hand. Because we can go like Lafitte. And then we can search on our second turn. And play also our Hatsinotsu. And start recycling some cards. Okay. Yeah. I hope that he's not asleep. So my opponent here. That's the thing when you don't play only ranked. This is okay. So he's now awake. Okay. We will play our Lafitte and we will pass. He's not at 2 tones. So let's see if he has the Trafalgar Law here to play. If not, then we're in a great spot. But he does have the Trafalgar Law, which sucks. Okay, so now we have 2 options. We have our Sigan, which is great. So we can either give him a target and search. So this is exactly what I will do here. I will not use my Hatsinotsu yet. Because on our next turn, you should always think about your next turn. We might be able to use our Sigan and our Hatsinotsu. So we will search. We will grab a Vanager. I like the Vanager here. I like the Vanager. Then we will attack him for 5. He will give me something from his hand. And then he has 2 targets. And I hope that he will hit my Lafitte. If not, then I will search again on the next turn. And this is also great for me, right? But this is a plan. So he gave me a Sangoro. This is great because now we can do that and that. And let's pray that he does not have a Mr. 2. Because if he does have a Mr. 2, then we will... so we lose here a Lafitte. Then we will have to... okay, it's a Zoro. So it's like this scenario here, right? So it's like this scenario. He plays the Zoro here. And we have also a Laboon. So that's a great spot that we are in, right? So first we will attack. Then we will go here -3 and KO. And now we will trust the serial thing, because from this point on, we need to black hole him the whole time. And this is also a thing that we might not be able to use our Hatsinotsu, but we will see. So he goes 11 to our Vanager, and I will give him this Vanager, and he gives me here a 2 cost. Okay, so this is great for me actually, because what we can do is we can play our Kuz and we can bring back this Vanager. We can KO this. We can play then our Hatsinotsu, and this is actually really good because we can also do Laboon something and KO, even if he plays something big, we can KO it. So I will keep this black hole here. I really like it. I will grab here a Tits. we are still healthy, and we will draw some cards with our two guys here. So what I'm considering doing here is dropping the black hole, dropping the Sirio, excuse me. And this is exactly what I will do here. I'll drop the Sirio because I'm still healthy at 5 life. So he will go for my docu, and I drew another docu, which is great. So now we can go -3. He will be at 6, right? And then -4, he will be at 2. So these two here, these two, and we KO this guy. So it's like a really crazy combo, you guys. It would be great to have a second Varagor here. We don't, but it's okay at this point. What we will do is -3. Here, -7. We will do that. We will recycle this here. Do we grab a Jesus here? Do we grab a Jesus, or do we want to populate our trust a little bit? I'm not sure. I will take that because we do have to use our leader's ability. Oh shit, we found another teach. You know what? I will take the teach here because I really like the spot for the teach, and I have to trust my Kuzan here. Or do I trust the Sigan? Because he will go for sure for one of these, right? So that's a hard one. I will try. I will go for my Kuzan. I don't lose this, unfortunately, and he plays Lin, which is the same, but it is what it is. So we will go 5-6. We have stun locked this Lin. Okay, so we will keep populating our trust here. We will grab this, why not? And unfortunately we throw our 2k here. But we do have 2 more teaches here, and we are in a really good spot. We are healthy at 5 life, so I will take that, and that's a 2k. So he played another Lilin. Okay, so we will keep doing that until he has nothing more. So 5, 6, 12. And now we're in a really good spot here. Okay, so he does that. He could go if he wants. If he wanted to, he could go for 15 then to this, and or 14. I wouldn't be able to do anything here. I could. Do I save that? Do I save this or not? Do I save him or not? Because I will draw a card, and if it's like an 1k or a 2k, then we save also our teach, because he will probably keep one Dawn for his Gam Giant, right? Okay, let's do it. Yay, 1k. 1k. So this is great because if he goes 14 to my teats, then we can defend that. Now he goes 5. No, I will not take a second one. What will he play? That's an interesting one. He might go wide here. He might go wide. No, he plays like, okay, and we drew another teeth. So it's like TG. So he has many tones. He might have an oro here. He might have an oro, but I don't really care. I don't really care here at that point. Let's see. So this is what you do against Noro, right? Before you play something, before you play anything, you always attack first. Okay, so let's see what he does here. Will he take that? Is he gonna take that? So if he takes that, then we won, because we will go 22. And I don't think that he has like enough. Okay, 2, 4. Oh, another Gangnam Giant. Okay, I think we probably won here. I don't think that he has. Okay, yeah, we won because he used two of his Gangnam Giants, so he can't do anything. Yeah, okay. The last life was a Gangnam Giant. That's interesting. But even in that case, I would have gone here like 13, 14. So 13 he would have taken, and 14 he could use another Gangnam Giant. Let's see. 9, 11, 12, 13. 13. No, it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. And even if that was enough, then he could do most. So 4 damage to me. Let's say 4 damage, and I had 4 lives. So, and no blocker here. So on the next turn I would have gone for game, like easy peasy. And I could also defend one of the attacks as well. I think so. So yeah. Okay, but this is how you play against Luffy. So you saw that if you go first, you have the upper hand. Let's say the upper hand, right? So do that. Beat these purple Luffys, and let's top the charts with our Blackbeard, our Martial Digits, guys. This was the video for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you liked what you saw. Write me down on the comment section below what you think, what are your thoughts, what are your thoughts about the decklist, about the gameplay, and about our little theory crafting here. If you have any suggestions and so on, I really appreciate your feedback. Always, even if it's let's say negative or positive, I always embrace it. So thank you all for watching again, guys. Peace. Bye.